Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Realnesss with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Tamika Francis. How are you doing today, Tamika?
I'm good. Thank God it's almost the weekend.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness that we were just talking about it beforehand, that we got a full episode, that they didn't do a stupid cliffhanger with like the last 2 couples being recoupling or whatever. I was like, thank you.
Right. I checking my time. I was like, okay, such and such went already. Such and such has to go. This had better not be too hard. Does that make sense?
And I was thinking, oh my God, and then if they start the episode like right before like Cash recouples and then Kyra recouples, like I'd be like so annoyed if they did that. And so I even messaged Tamika at it was at like 20, like I'd watch 40 minutes, and I was worried because it seemed long enough that it could have been the end of the episode. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, if they do this right now, but then I looked and there's 20 minutes still left in the episode, and I was like, phew, because I would have been real frustrated. But if this is your first time here over at Reality or Realness, welcome. Please do us a favor and subscribe. We are trying to build a community of people that love talking every day about Love Island, US and UK. So thank you for being here, everybody that's in the chat. We have Allie. Hello. I know. I can't wait to talk about this episode, even though nothing really went on, but we could just talk about, for the most part, like the beforehand, getting to the recoupling, and then what we feel about with the recoupling, etc. Because there's a couple teeny surprises. Teeny. Hi, Jessica. Thanks for joining. Hello, Ms. Love. Hello. Hi, Brandy. Hi, ladies. Oh, yes, I was so happy to see all the recoupling all in one episode. Can't believe that's what gets most excited is like having a complete episode. Right. Like, take note, producers and editors. Like, we don't care, especially if it's on every day. We don't care for these cliffhangers. We are going to tune in. We want to see their journey. So we don't need to hold off on like important information. Yes, they dragged out the first 30 minutes. I thought that's why I was so scared. I thought it was over because I was like, oh my God, like it's like a lot of an episode. And like they drew like the first 3 recouplings or 4 of them were like took a long time. I was like, oh my God, if they don't do Cash and Trina and Kyra.
No. I would have been so pissed.
Charlene, I would probably like kicked my computer or my TV. Hi, John. Hi, Dino. Hi, Adrienne. Hello, Bella. Excited for this review. We are too. I mean, we've been waiting for it for a while. I am a little bit disappointed that that Casa Amor wasn't a little bit longer. It doesn't seem like it gave everybody the real opportunity to develop real connections that might allow people's heads to actually be turned. You know,
I just feel like the beginning of the season, the flow was better than season 2. But since we've hit mid-season, the flow seems to have been off. Just the kicking out 4 couples at once, this Casa Amor staging, it's not giving me, whereas on the flip side, I feel like season 2 was perfectly staged. We had couples that were right in the thick of, you know, their relationships, and then they go to Casa Amor and they could potentially rip them apart. And then when you saw some of them just like stay with their couples, it was like, oh my God, they're in love. And when you saw the other ones that just like came back with somebody totally different, we're like, yes, they came back with somebody totally different. This time it was like, okay, so they stayed, pretty much knew that was going to happen. And just a little bit of surprises. There wasn't as much surprises. I feel like they did need to be with those people a few more days just to really like had them thinking. You know, give Cash and Charlie a few more days so she would settle into that relationship. Give Olivia a few more days with Cam so she wouldn't feel like she was just choosing him just to choose him. Like if it was more. Make Kyra want to, you know, maybe think about, oh my God, it's been so long. Maybe Will is with somebody else. You never know. Like, I just feel like they needed to give more.
Totally agree. Like so Ali kind of agrees with us here as well. Like rushing season. And if they had more time to get, they had more time to get to know each other in season 2, which I too feel as though I was worried for, some of the relationships because of the fact that like they did seem to get to know them a little bit better. I definitely feel like they're rushing the season. I don't know if they really just wanted more couples to stay together, that they didn't want to risk the couples breaking up.
Right.
I'm not sure what their motives behind it only being 3 days. A week is going to be better for it to actually be a real test.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just trying to figure out if I have to go back and look if season 2 was 8 weeks or 6 weeks, because I know season 1 was definitely 6 weeks, and I believe this one was 6 weeks, and I'm thinking that might be, even though Casa Amor last season was the same timing, it was like 3 or 4 days. It just felt like they had a lot more time with these guys and girls last season. So I don't know what it is.
Who's Andrew? Do you know who Andrew is?
Not a clue. And it seemed like he should have been a better match for Olivia than any of us was seeing. But it's like she wasn't even entertaining him. So what happened with Andrew? Like, what happened with Trina and Raul? Like, we didn't even get that today last night's episode where they all kind of left off. Gabe, like, just nothing. There was just nothing, even in that drug out first 30 minutes. So
very bizarre. So at the beginning of the episode, Will doesn't really want to make this decision. We know that it's very difficult for him. We can see the connection that he has with Flo. They flow really well together. And I was thinking, like, I felt in my heart of hearts that there was no way that he was going to break it off with Kyra, especially in the time frame. That's what I was thinking no matter what. But he really was scaring me, though, with his contemplation, because I was like, but he's really thinking about it. Like,
yeah, I will say, and I think it shows later on in the reaction to him picking Kyra. It really does look like Will was very much contemplating doing twisting to Flo. He seems to have had a really big connection with her, and ultimately, I think loyalty kind of won out. But
with the girl, right?
Yeah,
the whole week with Flo, and he really started to settle into kind of like a couple vibe with her. Like the first day, you get to know each other. Second day, couple games,
right.
maybe a couple kisses. Third day, you're like, maybe one other conversation, and you only had 2 evening chats like during like bedtime. So that's it. And it's kind of like, well, I've already had like 3 weeks of like interacting with Kyra and doing all this bed talk. So there's no way that Flo was going to be able to supersede the decent relationship that he has with Kyra just because she's had more time. And he feels he still likes Kyra. It's not like he doesn't like her or wasn't really interested in her. So there was no chance, I think, in the time frame in 3 days for his head to be turned about Kyra, even though it was very close for him. So if he had 2 more days, if he had 3 more days, if he had a full week, I think that his head would have turned.
He would have turned, and I think we would have been okay with it. I mean, I think we're still okay. Based on the poll, people are upset that he chose Kyra because you could clearly see
he was more alive.
Yeah, you could clearly see that he wanted Flo, that he probably should be with Flo, and just the difference in a Will with Flo and a Will with Kyra.
Yes, absolutely. So then, Cash is on the top of Cinco's head. Like he didn't know like who she's going to pick or what's going to happen over on the other side. So, but like Cinco literally says that he wants Cash basically. And so it's very interesting that how things turned out at the end of this episode, that like that ain't what happened.
I will tell you, and I'm going to tell you through this whole thing, I imagined his reaction and his reaction was even better than I imagined. It was a beautiful reaction. So when he was going through this back and forth, I think ultimately he did realize that he wanted to be with Cash. I think it also played into that Korey was saying, like, man, you're holding up my decision in you not making a decision. And ultimately I think he decided, you know what, Cash is the person that I want. And he basically started sticking to that, which is fine, but it was too little too late.
Too late. If he had chosen Cash before Casa Amor, she would have not.
She would have come back to him. I think she would have come back to him if he hadn't done anything with anybody else. I think everybody would have rooted for her to come back to him. If he had done what he did with Leslie, and then tried to come back to Cash, I don't think people would have rooted for them either. So I am happy that he did not have that conversation. I'm still very, very happy he did not have that conversation with Cash.
You need her to have something new experiences. She needs some flavor in the villa.
Yeah.
Flavor. So Trina gets a little bit of airtime for the first time in a while, where she kind of asks Olivia as to like whether maybe not she's self-sabotaging. Like, why isn't she able to even explore any of these relationships with these guys? Like, there's 5 guys here and you can't find one that you're willing to date for a week. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like, I mean, I don't think, I can understand being picky. I can understand wanting to, like, you know, really find a connection, really find somebody that gives you, you know, the little heart flutters and butterflies, whatever. Like, of course you want that, but you're also on Love Island. And Jaquan says it here that shaking my head, Olivia got a free vacation.
Yeah.
What does she know? Why? I would have rather Amy stayed there. She would have explored these relationships. Even Florida, it would have shaken things out a little bit differently, so that, like, I don't know. It just, I was very disappointed that she wasn't willing to even try with somebody.
I will say this. I feel like Olivia at this point is wasting a space in the villa. Like, I wish Florida, I don't know if Florida would have been a good thing, because I think she would have ultimately went back to Korey based on what she's saying. If she went back to Jeremy, that would be fun, because then he would have, knowing Jeremy, he would have coupled up with somebody else. But Leanne, Roxy, like all these women who have come on the show, who could be at this point finding new connections. Leanne could have hung out with Raul, or, you know, we don't even know what could have happened if Wes had stayed. Like, there could have been quality connections made, and another coupling happened that, I mean, could have potentially be destroyed eventually. But like Olivia, she is literally the Moira of this season, in that she says she knows what she wants and it has to be this, but I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like she does not know what she wants, only because of where she tends to, like, plant her lane as to where she wants to go. For like the people that she is wanted in the villa are, like, I could see if they were like very similar people, but they're not even the same personality wise. They're not even the same looks wise. Like, that is somebody who is very confused, absolutely confused.
And like, if it's all about Will now, which I think is really bizarre. Like, you know, like beforehand she wanted to go for Will, and then Will shut her down. And so she just seems definitely very confused. We can talk about it now. Who cares? But like, you saw the preview for tonight's episode. Our girl is talking to Korey, saying that she never gave Korey a chance, and I'm like, excuse me, Olivia? Like, yeah. You know, you might not have realized, because you got to know Korey and you started to know his personality, and you hung out with him for 3 weeks. This could be why that you're interested in him now. But like, could you have given Pam, who you enjoyed talking to a little bit of time, Gabe, Andrew, like all these people wasted their times being quarantined for the last month. Like, and you wouldn't just like entertain the fact that they can come into the villa with you and maybe you can explore something and maybe it won't work. But you know, you gave it a shot.
I was very frustrated seeing the end of the episode where she's like, "Oh, so I've been thinking about you the entire time," and I'm like, "I don't believe you. I don't. I do not believe that she's been thinking of Korey the entire time, because I think if she was thinking about Korey the entire time, she would have said it, and then we, the audience, would have been like, oh my god, like she likes Korey and he's gonna couple up with somebody, and then she's gonna come back single and find him, and then I think it would have played out better. So I don't believe her. I don't believe her that the entire time she was thinking about Korey. I think she would have said it to at least Cash, and we would have gotten that conversation. So I call BS on that on this entire thing that's about to go. But remember, I told you I thought she was going to try to couple up with Jeremy to take it to the end, and I can definitely see her glomming onto Korey because she might think, oh, the audience might like us together because he's Cash's best friend, and now Cash has found her person, and we could be a foursome. And I don't believe her, and I want her.
See them together at all.
No, I don't see it. I mean, I think they're about the same age though. That's about the only thing. And I really believe Korey is looking for a relationship. Especially based on his decision last night, because he could have picked Isabel. But I really think she was too young for him. A lot of people were pissed off at him for not picking her because she was more into him. But I don't think people understand she was not good.
She wanted more screen time, and fine at the 21, like get your screen time.
Yeah,
huge network show. I don't think she's that into him, and I think that she was quite immature.
She was very immature. That was what I was gonna say. She was immature and catty and very catty, and I just don't think it was his vibe. I think he likes a forceful woman, but not like what she was bringing. And so I do think it was a good decision to pick who he picked, because I do think that she at least
some drama.
Yeah, she will bring some drama, and they could pretend to have a relationship for a while and until Cinco makes a decision on what he's going to do, because I think Leslie's going to go back after him. But I just don't see Olivia and him, other than the age factor. I don't see any common ground. And Cash is their best friend. Other than those two things, I don't understand what they have in common. And he is nothing like what she says is her type.
Okay, this is a hot take. I feel like once they felt that Cash found a match, they cut it short. I'm pretty sure Casa Amor villa was boring, or the girls left, so the regular villa was boring without Cash. That could be something.
That's you know what? I like that theory. Because at this point, the women were wasting those guys' time. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, the men, it was causing chaos. And I'm sure they were like, okay, well, we can't have like 4 couples break up, so let's cut it short and let's just have them recouple, and we'll keep it going. They're still gonna bring in more guys. They're still gonna bring in more girls.
And they bring back that love triangle, the Cinco, Trina, and Cash of it all. They want that because that's the only real driving storyline that they had going on. They probably think that Will and Kyra are the golden couple. So they don't want him to get the same amount of hate maybe that Johnny was going to get. So like, like, let's extract Will now because this is looking not so good. Let's remove it from that.
Too late. Let me see if I can get it bigger. Oh God, my cameras today is bugging out. Basically it says, does Will and Kyra reuniting, do you approve?
Oh, it's
50% meh. 50.6% meh. 49% of course. Like, the audience isn't happy with this coupling, and I think based on what's been done so far, the fact that they're boring, the fact that he had a connection with somebody else and didn't explore that, I think they've lost at this point. This Johnny and Sally route that they're probably going to go, we're going to do the tweet challenge. They're going to, say, oh, Will did this and Will did that. It's not going to work because we all clearly saw that he had a better relationship with this other girl.
Unless Olivia is going to steal Will from Kyra, I don't think he'll do that. She has overstayed her welcome. Yep.
Pretty much. She's wasted. I am so mad that they couldn't keep two guys and kept Giovanni. Waste of time. Like, Giovanni would have been at least a better time, even if he came back single.
And if she just had got to just try things out with Giovanni, I'm sure she likes Giovanni more than she likes those new guys.
Any of those other guys.
Yeah, it's time for Olivia to move on and out. But Korey, we don't know what's going on there, Jessica. We don't know. Yeah, it is too fast. Okay, first off, let's talk about Cash glowing. Yes, Latoya, thanks for joining us. Cash, honestly, she was just like a sparkling angel at the recoupling portion of this episode. When she came out, she was just radiating happiness. And I don't know if any of it was just a little bit put on or fake or not, but she just looked so happy, and I was here for it. I was here.
I don't know. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, Cash is an actress. She knows what she's doing," and I'm like, listen. She would have to be an Oscar-winning actress to have that much. I really think she's happy. Even if it's, I'm just happy to have found somebody that I'm coming back into the villa to push inside Cinco's face. I don't think she faked any of that.
I thought this was going to happen as well, Jaquan. So Jaquan says, I wish that they had the post mail like in the UK. It would cause a lot of more chaos. Absolutely.
Yeah, but they would have need another day. They would have need another day to do that.
Not necessarily, because I feel like maybe I'm making it up, but I feel like before that they've sent tweets before, maybe in the UK, of compromising things that their guy does, or send a video message of what they're doing in the villa. I've also seen other, maybe it was in Australia, they did a magazine that they sell with headlines of what people were doing in the other villa. So surely they could have done another day and they would have more time to get footage, but they film it all day, all night. They can't take a snapshot and send them a text. I got a text, oh my God. Will making out with Avi.
Flow.
So
I think definitely would have caused the chaos. So I think it goes back to what you said, is that they didn't want to break up the majority of the couples. They want them to go into this last couple weeks of the season so that there'll be audience participation.
Or maybe they want us to see more of Jeremy because we already don't like him and we're trying to get him to be the winner. I don't know.
Let's see.
It's bizarre. Hi, T.I. Okay, yeah, since they sent home those 4, it's felt kind of boring because they just seem to be pushing the same storylines. Exactly. They're not. Who cares? I don't care about Josh and Shannon. Sorry. I care about Cash. Whatever her storyline is, I care. Trina, don't care. Olivia, I'm over it. I was rooting for Olivia, but the fact that she didn't open herself up to just getting to know these guys a little bit better. Just be this is a friendship now, but I don't want to take away his opportunity to maybe find someone, and maybe we do have something that we haven't explored yet.
It's not like Kirsten. I could understand a Kirsten because she was really into Carrington. It wasn't like she was coming back to somebody and saying, I'm really into this person. I can't see myself with any of these guys above this person. So that says to me that I should be single. That makes sense. This does not make sense because you're not even trying to find a connection at this point.
Wait, what? So the flow is off because Giovanni left and Olivia out here confused looking for her next victim, Korey. So
for real, though, for real.
I think the girls didn't give the guys a chance
at all.
No,
at all.
we didn't see the conversations. I don't know what Andrew's voice sounds like. We saw a couple with Gabe and a couple with Raul, but we only really saw Charlie. And who's the other person I'm forgetting?
Cam.
Cam.
Yeah.
Olivia is manifesting a Moira Jeremy vibes. Jeremy. Moira.
What? That she's confused, or she's definitely Moira. I'm not sure the Jeremy vibes, because Jeremy is just.
Can't find. He keeps on hooking up with somebody and then breaking up and hooking up and breaking up. Maybe.
Yeah, but she's not. She's stuck in one couple. Wasted this man's time looking for a connection for somebody else. Manifested one with Will. There was nothing there. Even with Slade, I kept saying to people, they're like, "Oh, I saw so much with Slade." I didn't see anything with Slade. I don't think she is like in a real search for a connection. Maybe she doesn't know how. Maybe she just is like stuck on her type. And I just don't, I'm not believing her at this point. She's wasting space.
Okay, off topic. I highly recommend F-Boy Island on HBO Max. It's kind of like Love Island and Temptation Island on what? It started already?
Yeah, it started this morning. They dropped like 3 episodes.
Okay, so that's like I plan on it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were planning this out. I've already been trying to help Chantele be able to get online and find it. So
yeah, I haven't looked for it yet, but I'm sure that I can find it because I have HBO. And I've never had a problem. But anyways, yes, we plan on talking about it. I don't know if we're going to actually do a full review or not.
Yeah.
How the episodes are coming out? Is it once a week on Thursdays?
I'm not sure. I have to see because when they did the 12 Dates of Christmas, it was like 1 or 2 episodes a week. So this might be. It depends on probably the season. This might be about the same thing. Maybe because I think they dropped like 2 episodes the first day, and then they started dropping 1 single episode after that. So we'll have to see what they plan on doing.
Yes, I have to see the format, and then we'll figure it out. I do want to cover it because it just looks fun. I covered The Bachelorette. It's one of the producers of The Bachelorette makes it, or created it. So I'm interested for sure. Okay, Ms. Love says, I feel like they need to add a twist to Casa Amor to make it interesting. Well, the twist is usually that they send video footage or photos of these couples in compromising positions, and then the video closes away like right before they're about to kiss or you know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, what happened? That's usually what goes on in Casa Amor. And then makes like their partners be like, oh my God, what happened there? So the fact that they didn't show anything from Casa Amor is unique to America because in every other iteration they send footage.
Something.
Make it longer and then do something with Casa Amor that hasn't been done in the past season of the US. No, they need to do what was done in the UK. And in the UK, they send video footage or photos of them making out in challenges or outside of challenges, or it's kind of like
make the season a week longer.
I don't even need it a week longer.
No. If they have to make the U.S. season a week longer so that they can add time to Casa Amor, if that's what they're thinking in order to do these plot twists, that's what they need to do because this wasn't working.
No, this is supposed to be like the climax of the season, right? The midpoint, and it was a mute point. Like, boring. I mean, boring. It was okay. It was just not that exciting. Okay, Will is a true player. He gathered Flo before she made a seed, and he ain't pimping Kyra. Pimping Kyra is putty in that man's hand. Kyra is putty in that man's hand. He could do anything. He could cheat if he wants to. Like anything that he wants to do, he can do with Kyra. She's definitely proven that. When I was looking at him, he's very sexy, but he's trouble. He's trouble.
Yeah, so this was my thing. I'm kind of glad that Flo did not get into the villa, like I predicted she wouldn't. because then she was crying for Kyra, and I was like, no, girl, this is not. No. There is no sympathy in here. Like you went after the girl's man because you had a better connection, huh?
I felt what she was crying for was the fact that she didn't really realize how much Kyra was into him, and she felt as though if she knew it was that deep, she probably wouldn't have even put any interest or effort into it. I think that she thought it was more like what we think. Like she didn't see any connections, but when Kyra saw him and she was so happy to see him and she's crying and she's kissing and whatever, like that was the most that she's shown us of her like feelings, other than crying or pining away for him when she was in Casa Amor. So I think that her seeing her how she was acting was surprising, because all they just see is them like, you know, sitting beside each other and then meditating and then kissing a little bit. So I think that she just felt maybe misled with the fact that you know, their connection was deeper and Kyra felt more. I think she just felt like a bad friend and maybe more like a mistress, and she didn't really want that role. That's what I think.
Yeah. I can definitely see that. I was just like, something needed to shake up Will. I just want him to approach this differently. I'm not happy with their relationship, so.
Me neither. It's boring. Okay, so Dina says Casa Amor should be 1 week. Yep. At this point, they should just forget about Casa Amor moving forward, because it makes no difference.
No. It makes a difference. Trust me. With the right cast, it makes a difference, because season 1 they had no Casa Amor, and that was the most boring season. Period. Even this season, where we're like, oh my God, this is so bad. This season is still way better than season 1, and they had, no Casa Amor. Season 2, Casa Amor was perfect, in my opinion. They laid it out exactly the way it is. With the right cast, Casa Amor does its job. I think they did not have the right, that's what I was trying to say going into this. They did not have the right couplings to go into a Casa Amor. These couples are not strong enough to like, oh my God, they could break up. It's more of, ride this out. We're just gonna ride this out.
Into as the bombshells weren't bombshells.
Oh, that too.
They weren't people that like every single person is going to be into. Leslie did a good job as a bombshell. She was a little bit unexpected. I wouldn't have looked at her picture and been like, oh, she's going to shake this villa up the most. But she did. And everybody else, like, okay, Jenny was okay. And
I don't know. Jenny, did you hear what Shannon said about her under her breath?
Poor boy. Poor guy.
I'm like, what don't we know? Does Shannon not even like her?
Things, or maybe she's a man eater, or maybe she doesn't like her for her sister, or like maybe she's like a liar. Like, yes,
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that.
Very excited to see that tea. I can't with you, Allie. Pentagon's reaction after seeing Catch walk in with Charlie should be a meme. Dude looked cry and
yeah. Everybody has screenshot it and shared it, and he literally looked devastated. He was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? He didn't even hug Trina. He did not kiss Trina. He did not physically contact himself with Trina last night, that he was happy to see her. And then she was like, oh, I'm so glad, because I think we really can do this thing. And I was like, do you see his face? He looks very skeptical at doing this thing with you.
It looked to me like he was also going to say something to the effect of, we need to talk. You know what I mean? Like, he looked like that was coming out like, this isn't exactly what it is. It's like, I came back alone, but I don't necessarily want to be with you.
Right. And people weren't understanding, because people were saying, I don't understand why he didn't just be single so he could go after Cash. And I was like, that is not how it works. And so I will continue to explain things for new viewers, because I know there's a lot and people get confused. His options, because he went into there in a couple, was to either stay with Trina or twist to a new girl. He could not say, I want to be single in the villa and then go after Cash. He had to stay with Trina. Right. Yeah. So those were his options. And he chose to stay with Trina with the intention of eventually going to Cash while still in this damn couple. That is his problem.
Yep, exactly. He's gonna be like, but yeah, I'm not gonna recouple with Trina. Like, like I wish that would have been so savage. He was like, yeah, I didn't choose anybody, but I don't want to choose you.
Right? Can you imagine? But that's not how this works. And then so they're like, well, how come Olivia could come back single? I was like, because she went into the villa single. She went into the villa single. I mean, into Casa Amor single, so she could come back as a single.
Just obviously, we'll talk more about it probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jessica hopes that by the end of tonight's episode, Cash is fully done with Cinco drama.
Me too.
I don't know if he's going to be done because in the preview we do see Trina confronting Cinco, mean like I feel like there's some unfinished business, like there's something still going on, and so
this was my thing. A lot of people were mad at Cash because she was like, I don't know, when asked, about Cinco. First of all, she's wearing the gold dress. That means that it's the night that they've come back from recoupling, and the girls are asking her this. And I'm like, BS on the girls for asking her that because it's unfair. She just got back that night with Charlie. Allow her to be in her couple and do what she's supposed to do. Don't ask her that. Of course she doesn't know. She just got back. And I'm sure Trina and Cinco are all up in the air. Nothing to do with her. Nothing to do with her. Like, they just did that to cause problems, and I was so pissed off last night seeing the preview for that. They should leave her alone if they're really her friends. Now, we'll see how she goes after this, because I have a feeling Trina and Cinco are going to not be in a good place going forward. But I think if he does dump Trina, which I don't see him dumping her, she might dump him. I see him going after Leslie. As long as Cash goes like this. Done. Now, it's on Charlie to, now that they're back in the villa, to say, to do things as a person would to make sure Cash says, Cinco who? Oh, is there a guy over there I used to like? Who, really? What's he doing? I don't even know.
Do you think Cinco's going to still try to pursue Cash?
I can see him doing it if Trina dumps him.
You think Trina will dump him?
Yes.
Really?
If she finds out about Leslie, I think she will dump him.
At least Moira stayed coupled up. Yes, Moira at least tried. She tried, even though she wasn't good at it. Here is the Kirsten this season 2. Yeah.
More the Mackenzie-ish.
I say more to Mackenzie too. Cinco might not do anything, but Leslie will spill the tea.
That's what I'm saying. I think once Trina finds out that, oh wait, you were gonna go switch to another girl, and so it's not just Cash.
Like, you didn't stay loyal to me. You don't try to build something with me. Like, ugh. Okay, can we get a man from Alaska to come get Olivia out of the villa?
Somebody come pick her up and stop sending her texts. Like, I'm annoyed. I'm like, every time she gets a text, she's oh my god, she won't read the damn text. Stop sending her text.
It's because she has no storylines, and they're trying to make her do something.
Right.
Okay, so no, Olivia thinks that if she pulls Korey, she can stick around and have a friendship thing like Cash and Korey. She's not that smart or slick, and Olivia needs to get the heck on. Yep.
I don't think she thinks it'll be a friendship couple. I think she's really thinking she could trick him into believing that she's in love with him.
Hi, Yogi Bear. Yes, take her to Alaska. Sorry, Olivia. I was rooting for you until you walked back to the villa single. Can we talk about the boys' reaction to Cash coming in with a new man? They seemed happy for her. They didn't look shocked. Josh looked happy. I thought that Josh
looked happy. Korey looked happy. Jeremy looked happy. Who else was left? Did I miss anybody?
Well, I don't think they showed Will.
Will was still kind of like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And Cinco was like, holy.
Okay, the first look is out. So let's take a look at the first look.
Okay. Can you turn it up?
Okay, hold on. Let me find my speaker. Okay, never mind. Let me find the speaker while we're talking, and then I'll put it up because I can't make it louder.
Okay.
We'll go do that after if I can, or unless you can find it on yours. I need to plug in my speaker though. I don't know where the cord is. Ew. Oh, maybe it's here.
Okay.
It might be because I need to see what's going on. I need to understand. Okay, while it's charging up, we'll just pop through here. So that might work with Olivia. What? Going to be
what?
Once, Dino. Oh, so some guy to come to Alaska and grab her.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. I like Slaska. It was shadier. Okay, so Shannon and Josh have more chance to win than Will and Kyra. Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, I think Will not recoupling might have tanked his chances of winning.
Too bad they didn't have an American vote for America's favorite person. That'd be Cash Beauty. Yes, it would.
Yeah. They did on the app though. They said, "Who's your favorite girl? Who's your favorite boy?" And Cash was winning.
Who's the guy? Who's the boy?
Who was the boy? Maybe Will.
Will, trouble.
Yeah.
I told always.
Okay.
Oh, here. Who's your favorite OG boy? Oh, Korey.
Korey.
Yeah. Who's your favorite OG girl? Cache.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I told always that I'm gonna be honest with you. If it was this girl, like she showed her feelings to me like right away. He's here actually. And then we kiss at night at the bed, like yeah, like yeah.
Cinco, what do you want? Who do you want?
I want both y'all to be happy.
I'll ask you again.
Sorry.
Who do you want?
Twitter.
I can't do it with him anymore. He doesn't know what he wants. You deserve it, bad girl. I talked to more. I was like, wait, what? Korey?
It does suck. Like, obviously, I'm not trying to hurt that girl. I've been trying to hurt Trina. And I never tried to hurt Cash either. The only thing I really did was really try to figure out who I really want. I wanted to make the best decision for myself.
And it's a cheers to great people, new memories, and just a great night here at Love Island.
You've been the best connection I've had, obviously, and there's always been feelings there, and they just don't go away like that. I do want you to be happy at the end of the day, but at the same time, I want him to be the one making you happy.
The feelings for you are still there. And that's the thing, with Charlie, I know that man would never hurt me.
I get it.
How do I let go of an amazing man for another man who, I don't know. I gotta be good to you, but I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to pick whoever, because if I wanted to do that, I would have brought someone back. Really. I might have. I'm like, what? It was that bad.
Oh my God, my arm's so tired.
No, Korey, no! Oh, okay.
Tired. God.
I told y'all that this was going to happen with Cinco. And I know a lot of people think it's because Cash is America's favorite or fan favorite. And I keep trying to explain to people, they do not know who's America's favorite or fan favorite in the villa. But he's a man, and jealousy will always win out. He will not. This looks like the next night. So that means that he's watched her all day being loved on by Charlie. And I am sure it is pissing him off. So it'd be different if I think if we didn't see that he was probably going to choose her, before this in Casa Amor. But he's definitely going to be mad because she found somebody better than him. I think he thought there's no way that she could find anybody better than me because she tried to do it before and it didn't happen. So he thought he had a chance and he screwed himself.
It didn't seem to me like she was going to let Cinco in. It seemed to me, from how she was saying it, was that she was trying to let Cinco go.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that we're right here. I hope that he gets to learn a little lesson.
Yeah. And so then he'll probably go after Leslie and
more drama. And maybe that's why Korey and Olivia do their little smoochy smooch, because Leslie is more interested.
I'm sure she's stuck on Cinco. So yeah, I can definitely see it.
Happy Friday, Mary. Or Thursday. I keep thinking it's the wrong day of the week. Happy Thursday, Mary. Thanks for joining. I'm with you here, Jaquan. I'm already ready for the tweet game or the lie detector. Like, they didn't do the lie detector last season, so I don't know if they'll do it this season. But give me that lie detector. I want to ask Will if he has feelings for Flo still. I need to know. Hi, Jax. I'm so disappointed with this entire season. Well, I'm not disappointed in the entire season, but there's a few moments that I think have made this season less great. I think that not dumping Jeremy, keeping him, and getting rid of Giovanni, I think that probably the worst decision that the production has made. Because from that point forward, I haven't cared as much as I did up until that point.
Yeah, and at this point, what is Jeremy bringing still? I mean, I know you guys keep saying he's making funnies, but he right about now he's still bringing nothing. So it again, another wasted space in the villa. But I feel like more of, we went like this, you know, we were going up the hill. It was a great ride, and then they dumped 4 people and it went.
Good way though. I just went like.
Yeah, like
you went like
like, so I think that was their mistake, and I don't know if it was that they didn't have enough people. As Chantele said, we know that the convertible top only for 5. So but can you imagine if a Wes and Amy had to go to Casa Amor and be ripped apart? Or
would Wes have been interested in Flo?
Yeah. You know, Flo and Giovanni, you know, Flo is like, oh, I'm just about to switch back to Korey, and Giovanni was done with Olivia, and you know, I just think that it could have played out so much better. So I am not entirely disappointed with the season. I am disappointed right now in the point we are, and I think once we get through this hump, dead this triangle, get Cash to fully, you know, get into Charlie, see her being loved up while they, you know, enjoy their ride to the money. Will and Kyra, they're going to be Johnny and Sully. So we're going to hear about Flo. We're going to hear about the kisses. We're going to get tweets. We're going to get all sorts of stuff to see that, you know, their relationship is going to be basically tested through the end of the season. Get rid of Olivia. Who else is left? Jeremy and Jenny, they can go to. I think there'll be a blip in the Shannon and Josh story. I don't see them bringing much else. Shannon and Josh, we know that they're our favorite toxic couple, so they'll be up and down and all around through the rest of the season. And Trina, I don't know where she goes from here. I just don't. And Cinco, he's got Leslie waiting in the wings, I'm sure, to come couple up with. I don't know where that goes either. Yeah, pretty much. She's just like, yeah, so is it done? Yeah, you don't care, and you don't care. So now it's time for me. And we might love her. We might love her through the end of the season because she's gonna bring the drama.
I like Leslie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people don't like her, and they're like, she just wants to get in the villa, and I'm like, but that's fine. Like, everybody wants this. The point is to be in the villa. That's the only way you can win $100,000. But I really do think that her and Cinco actually could probably build something that maybe they could take out of the villa. So we might love her, we might not, but I want to see what she brings.
Yep, she's interesting.
Yeah, she's more interesting than Olivia.
I wish I could see Flo in there because I thought that Flo was interesting and she brought energy and just well, we had to have Olivia, but we couldn't have Flo. Couldn't she, like, if Olivia didn't want to be single, like, couldn't she stay single out of the villa and then we have Flo who's looking for a like,
oh
great.
Man, I know.
You can't come back to the villa single, so you're gonna have to forfeit your spot and give it to somebody else that's looking for a relationship.
That would have been awesome.
I feel bad. Cam would have made more of a chance as a bombshell. Yes, he could have.
He could have. I listen. I don't feel bad for Cam. He was a last minute addition to the Casa Amor roster. I think they did a good job with switching out Balo for him. And you know, he was able to pull some girls. He had good conversations with Kyra. He had a good, you know, maybe relationship with Olivia. He got some screen time. He did his job. He's going home. I don't think he would have done anything additional in the villa unless maybe Cash needed somebody to couple up with just in case. I just not seeing it. And there's more guys coming and more girls.
Okay, so if Will picked Flo and Olivia picked Cam, I can see Cam taking the opportunity to get to know Kyra.
Yeah, same thing. Like if that had happened, it would have the producers could have said, no, Olivia, bring back Cam, and that would have made more sense because then he would have gone and consoled Kyra, and Olivia would try to switch to Korey, and it would have been a nice tail end, but that is not what we got. Will did not pick Flo, screwed up the entire thing because I would have loved to see him switch to Flo.
He would have been devastated.
Yeah.
It would have been an ugly cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So why the app have nothing but positive for Olivia? I couldn't vote for anything. I really want to watch you in a friendship couple and not choose someone.
I know. On the app, they're like, "Oh, she came back single. What do you think about it?" And it was like all positive things. I was like, "I am not positive about this."
Like women power.
Yeah, it was like, I love that too, or you got this, or your man is on the way, or hold your head up high. I'm like, no, it's none of that. It's get the hell out of the villa. You are a waste of space.
Thank you. Next, like, okay. Watch the drop. Trina press the hell out of Cinco. Oh, you're saying like you can imagine that. I don't know if she's going to really do a good job, though. She's not really great at. She just makes herself kind of appear to be the victim as opposed to like checking him. So
she is crying her eyes out to the girl that she stole the man from, and mad because he treated her in like the same way he treated you. And the only reason why that he treated Cash like that is because you insisted you had to have him. And I don't feel bad for her. You should have left them alone. But now
it's like okay, like it's not this extreme, but it's like a married couple and they're having maybe some relationship issues or something happens, and a girl comes along and really he sparks his interest of this man, and they get into a bit of a relationship, and this man thinks that his wife is not interested in him anymore, or like she didn't really express how she felt that as much as she could have, and so he starts a relationship, but he's still married to the wife. He's still married to her. And then the wife talks to him and be like, this is where I'm coming from. This is what I want for our relationship. I'd only see you in my life. Like, you are the person that I choose. And then the husband says to say to the mistress, like, you know what? I want to work on my relationship because I never really stopped liking her. I just didn't know where she stood completely. And I didn't trust that our relationship was strong enough. So that's why I pursued something with you. But I really want to continue with the relationship that I've already built. That's what it is. It's the same thing on like a very lower scale.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And then the mistress.
Now it's going to go talk to the wife.
It was called the wife. It was like, wait, what? I'm supposed to console you. And she is so lucky that Cash has the heart of gold, and which is why we all love her. And people are like, oh, they don't understand why everybody loves Cash, because Cash has a heart of gold. Because I'm a fairly nice person, but me, I'm petty. I would have been like, sorry, but isn't that what you wanted?
I'd be like, and why are you talking to me?
I would be like, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be like, Cash is like, you deserve better. The guy that's meant for you is coming for you. Like, she's giving her a pep talk, and I don't understand it. And, I mean, it could be, the new love of Charlie that's made Cash even a kinder person again. But she's lucky Cash is the person that she is. Because if it was me, her ass would have been crying to Kyra.
Oh my God, she would not have been happy if she had come to me. Okay, yes, first look is out. I think Cash might probably. Yes, I agree with I felt that she was done in that preview.
But that's what I'm saying. It seems like it's a whole day later. She's been hugged. If Charlie does his job, and I keep telling people it's up to Charlie to do what Isaiah did not do, which is do his job and prove to Cash that he is who she needs to stay with. Yeah. Then yes, when you have that conversation in the next day, in the night with Cinco, it's so like we're done. Like he's proven to me everything I asked you to prove to me, and you couldn't. Period.
Exactly. Hi, Claire. Thanks for joining us. Yes, the first look. I mean, I'm very excited. I'm into the season. I'm into it, even if I'm about it. Yeah. It's could be better, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Cash is tired of being hurt, and she's pretty stated out pretty clear to Cinco, like, this man has never done anything but showed me that he was interested in me, and why would I let that go? And it looks like she's going to say something to the effect of somebody that has already hurt me and has not always thought that I was his number one choice. Olivia and Korey.
That's what I said. No, don't do it, Korey. Don't do it. Oh my God.
Okay, so it does look like Cinco is going to lose out on both, and that's where, remember, our girl Leslie's going to be like waiting, to see when she goes.
But that's what I wanted. He doesn't deserve to stay with either. Not because I feel like Trina deserves so much better, but at this point, Cinco deserves neither one of them.
Okay, Mary wants to know. Okay, I want to know if you agree with Mary's statement. So I love Cash, but if she picks. She goes back to Cinco, I'm done. Do you what percentage chance do you think that Cash is going to go back to Cinco?
Cinco would have to work really hard to prove to Cash that he is up to the level of Charlie, meaning he's done with any other girls. He's just into her. He's going to fight for her. He's basically got to be a knight in shining armor. And again, Cinco is not aggressive. Cinco is not assertive. I don't see that happening.
See it either. Would you be done? Would you be like, well, how would you feel about Cash if she went back to him?
If I see that Cinco was like, it would have to be a really quick, like 180 of who Cinco has been this whole time. Unless I see that, I mean, I'm not done. I love Cash, but I can forgive Cash for just about anything as long as I know she's following her heart. If she's running scared, then I can't help her. I'll fight for her. But if everybody else says, yeah, no, I can't do it, I can't help my girl.
Hi, CJ. Oh my God, Olivia. I don't think I want Korey to stay now that he's kind of found something. But the fact that he kisses Olivia leads me to believe that Cinco is left with no one. Leslie leaves Korey for Cinco. Korey is again single, and that's why there's an opening for Olivia. That's sort of that makes sense to me.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because he already was coupled up with. Remember, he said he slept with 7 different girls since he's been in the villa. One of them was Trina. He can't go to Trina. There is nothing there with Trina. So they already tried it. It ain't nothing there. So the only other person left would be to go to Olivia. If I'm not thinking I'll see a Olivia versus Leslie for Korey. No, I think he'll probably couple up with Olivia. I think he really misses Florida. I think I could see him staying with Olivia like a Connor. Remember, he coupled up with Mora. Oh my God, it's Connor and Mora. It's Connor and Mora. Holy crap! He coupled up with Mora, got dumped, and called Mackenzie on the phone. I can see it happening, guys.
Do you think Korey's gonna call Florida?
Yes. He's been out here going on every single interview after interview saying the only person she wants is him. I can see it.
Okay, so y'all got rid of Giovanni and now get Olivia and Korey content. I look at them as like brother and sister. This is gross to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not vibing with it at all.
No.
Oh, you guys are talking a lot today. Oh my God, I'm so behind.
Yeah.
Trina's done with Cinco. Cash might be too. Ding. Ding. Yes. Oh, I showed it, but I'm behind. Behind. We got it. We got it. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Luna. We need some magic to get Olivia and Hugo together. And that is fun too.
I'm actually gonna just watch the last night's episode and tonight's episode at once, just straight through. Because
I'm probably gonna do that too because I didn't watch yesterday's. I fell asleep way early, and so I didn't get everything I needed to do. And then I woke up right before I had a class, so I didn't get to watch it or do a review on it. So I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah,
but, Hugo needs to go.
He does.
Oh, yes. No problem. Hi, Richard. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Netha. Okay, Cinco is the type to string you along hoping that you never find anyone better whilst accepting the breadcrumbs that he gives you.
Right. And the minute that another guy shows you the attention that he should have showed you after you've been pining away after him, he's like, oh, wait, nobody can take my girl. She's mine. And that is where we are with Cinco.
Cinco. Okay, Netha says, wow, Korey is so dense, always going for the ones who don't really like him. I mean, it could be because he just likes Florida and like that's the only person that's really made him interested. But
that was the only time he was like alive and animated. I really do think he really liked her.
Allie, please send Korey.
Oh, I like Korey. He's definitely gotten better on the show.
He's gotten better for sure. I hope Cash doesn't do it. Stay with Charlie. Stay with Charlie. Stay with Charlie.
Yeah, I agree.
Stay with Charlie. She knows. She's smart.
Yeah,
she knows. She has to stay with Charlie.
Yeah.
At least to win the show. If she wants to go and touch Cinco outside of the villa after.
Her and Cinco can have a nice relationship with 50K when they're on the outside.
She needs to stay with Charlie if she wants a shot at the money. That's just plain facts.
Unless he does something absolutely nuts. Pretty much. She has to stay with
she'll realize this though, most likely when there's another audience vote or something like that, and she's on top with Korey with Charlie. Yeah. So that would be very helpful, I think.
Yeah.
And Cinco goes back to Leslie. Black women are going to make sure Cinco goes home.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends. I think the way it's playing out, it'll be that she's basically third choice, second choice, which is better than him coupling up with her after Casa Amor over Cash.
So with the episode, there wasn't really much more that went on with the coupling. So no surprise, Josh follows his heart. He goes to Shannon. He picks Shannon. She comes down single and wanting to continue with Josh. But one thing though that annoyed them before that Will and Josh were talking about Shannon and Kyra, and just Josh being like, if they're with anybody, they're hypocrites.
I know it's hypocrite. I know. I was like, Josh, stop with the damn hypocrite. Like, you don't know what connections were being built over there. So, I mean, and the fact that Will is like, well, I would be a hypocrite too. At least he said that, because I was sitting there like, Will, you really think that? You think that? And then he was like, well, if I changed the flow, wouldn't I? I was like, okay, as long as you know, That's what would happen, because I don't understand why you're talking to Josh on this. Josh at least is not in anywhere like he wants somebody else. You, on the other hand, are still very conflicted. So please be quiet.
I was happy that he didn't really go along with that train, because I was pretty annoyed with Josh. It's just like, shut up, Josh. It's such a juvenile perspective to be looking at things. Like, it's just not correct, in my opinion. Okay, so I love the shade though that Ariel was throwing to Jeremy. So it's like, you've been partnered up with multiple girls this season. Jeremy, and then he chose Jenny. No surprise, we want to see the drama that's going to happen, or what she's going to bring to the villa with her connection with Shannon. Shannon says, poor boy. I want to know more about what poor boy means.
Know what that meant.
Yes. And then Olivia chose no one, which I was just like, eye roll, like, just so dumb. Why?
I was like, it was raining, and because I was wondering why the girls were sitting on a seat next to the boys, and I was like, oh, it's pouring, and so she's coming down in the rain. I'm like, this is like the saddest I've ever seen. She is coming down in the rain, single, for no damn reason. I was so mad.
And then Ariel kind of gave some shade to Olivia, I think, too. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was something to the effect of like, oh, you received the lowest votes from the audience, but your fellow Islanders saved you.
Yeah. I think that was to Cinco.
Oh, it was. I wrote it beside.
Because I said Ariel basically telling Cinco, do what you want. The audience don't love you anyway. And I was like, for real. I was like, if he truthfully, if he chose Leslie, he wouldn't be done. If he chose Trina, he's still not a fan favorite right now. So I mean, he really had a win-win situation here. That's why
you're totally right. It was. I wrote it beside Cinco, and then I just couldn't remember the exact situation. But yes, and Cinco did end up deciding to stick with Trina, and he just tried to fake looking happy for the situation, looking happy that she came down single, like she didn't care at all. And I wrote down, who cares? Who cares?
He didn't. He definitely didn't.
Korey, I thought that he was going to pick Leslie, and he did. Isabel was crying. And I mean, obviously, Korey had to pick Leslie. He did have better connection with her. I could tell from his speech that he was going to be picking Leslie.
Yeah,
also, to bring in potential drama, Leslie would be the best pick for Korey to bring into the villa.
Yeah.
Would have been nice if there was another guy that would have brought in Flo. That would have been delicious. But.
Yeah, like a Giovanni. When he started his speech and he's like, this girl has been very open to me from the beginning, I was like, he's picking Leslie. I knew it. And I mean, I know a lot of people are mad about it, but I think it was the correct pick for him, regardless of if she's going to go and change course when she's in the villa. It was absolutely the correct pick for him.
And then, if looks could kill, though, with like Olivia and Cash looking at Will making that decision. Like,
it was like
and Olivia and Shannon. Sorry.
Yeah, it was like they were staring. They were staring at him like, "What are you about to say?" Because the way he was saying it really sounded like he was gonna pick Flo. Like the speech was like, "I hope everybody's okay with my decision." What else did he say? That this girl, I was able to connect with this girl.
I'm going to hurt somebody, and
so they were like looking at him like, "Yo, you're not about to say what I think you're about to say, right? Like, what is this guy talking about?"
I kind of wanted it though.
Yeah, same. See, it was like the Amber and Michael speech. And when everybody was sitting there and they're like, did Amber couple up? Did Amber couple up? Because that's what they said, that everybody was like, did Amber couple up? And everybody, all the girls were like, no. And they're like, oh shit. And then he stood up and said that, Michael said that nasty ass speech against her. And then everybody was looking at, Anna was looking at him like, you are not ever about to do what I think you're about to do and say what you're about. Like, that's how they were like. It was probably the best part of the entire thing.
I was shocked. Okay, so the picture though of Cinco, his face. Do you have it? I want to see it.
Oh my gosh, it's all over the place. I think Love Island even might have posted it. It was hilarious.
But yeah, that was definitely the face crack of the century. That moment, I was like, their reaction made me believe that it was a possibility that he was choosing Flo. In my heart of hearts, I thought he was taking Kyra for sure. And obviously, right before that, we saw Cash and Charlie come down, and Cash looked gorgeous, and she looked so happy. And I was just like, yes. I'm just happy that Cash made that decision.
Me too.
Thank you, Cash.
I was absolutely ecstatic. I was yelling. I was cursing. I was like, "Thank you!" I'm there, like, "Thank you, Heavenly Father," because that was exactly what she should have done. There was nothing there that there was no other decision to be made. Let me see if I can, because my camera is broken.
That's pretty much what happened with the episode. I'm more interested to see what the fallout's going to be. Okay. Yeah. To your right, Mark.
Damn it. Yo, he is so pissed. He was so pissed. Yeah, he was pissed.
Hilarious. Okay. Cash can couple with a stuffed animal, and she still will have my vote. Me too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't at this point. If she really goes back to Cinco, I don't foresee myself not voting for her if she's following her heart. Like, if that's what she really thinks is best. But to me, Cinco, I think in order for her to do it, Cinco would have to prove a lot to her, just from the way she's talking to Trina, and the fact that I'm sure between Josh and Korey, they're going to hear the fact that he was entertaining Leslie, and Leslie is in the villa, and it's going to be, Cash is not going to want to put herself in that position to have to deal with a third triangle. Yeah. So yeah, no, he would have to work very, very hard.
So okay, I mean, I don't know how mad people will get at them. At Cinco, I think that even if he goes to, people know that he's not into Trina that much. So right. Trina fans might be like mad at Cinco, but I think that they'll be less mad at Cinco than if he went back to Cash. So I don't know. Like, I think that, I don't know if he's misrepresented himself. Like, he's always said that he was open. He never said that he's only into Black women. So right. I think he likes pretty people that have conversations with him that are kind of fun.
Yeah, I think if Amy had paid him attention, he probably would have paid attention to Amy too. I think people need to understand that it's not the point. If a white guy had come in and paid attention to Cash, I would be okay. I moved beyond to that you have to be a Black man with a Black woman. It's not a thing for me. 80 to 90% of Black men do marry and stay with Black women. It's a proven fact. So it's not like, oh my God, there's a shortage of Black men that love Black women in the world. We definitely just don't see it on TV as much. That being said, I don't think he ever said, I only like Black women. He just went after, to me, who he thought were the two best women in the villa. And this is why, people keep saying, and I'm going to reiterate this, that the people in the villa, people coming into the villa, know that Cash is a fan favorite, know who is the favorite of the people outside the villa, They do not know this. They cannot know this. Phones get and social media and internet gets taken away from these people 2 weeks before the cast list gets sent out. From what the Leanne, Roxy, Florida have said, they were only able to watch the first 2 episodes. Then they were asked who did they like the most out of that. They were not able to watch all the episodes. So she said she had to go back and watch all the episodes to catch up to what happened when she left. So that's when she found out that Jeremy was a snake. They don't know that people are fan favorites. People are right now having a theory that I don't understand why none of these guys like Trina. What about Trina? What about Cash did they like better than Trina? Personality trumps beauty. And you could always find a beautiful person.
Like all these unattractive men will say that have these gorgeous women, but they're comedians. They're super funny, and these girls like
love them.
They're just like, you're funny, you get the girl. Like,
right.
Exactly.
So their whole theory is, they only chose people. These people only chose Cash because they know she's a fan favorite after the vote or whatever. I'm trying to tell people, first of all, they probably weren't even allowed to watch that vote. Second of all, they definitely do not know she's a fan favorite or America's favorite. They're just not going to know that. There's no way for them to know that. Do they know that she's popular in the villa? Yes, because she has friends everywhere. Do they see her personality? Yes, because they've gotten to watch the show and the producer said, who would you want? And then that's what they use to send those people in. And then they go from there. But the fact that Cash wasn't number 1 on everybody's thing lets me know that people don't know that she's a fan favorite. Or there would have not been any guy who said, oh, Cash is not my favorite. I want this person. Every guy would have said that if they knew that she was America's favorite. So at the end of the day, Cash can do what she wants to because these guys are the ones who go in there thinking they know who is the better person. They're mostly leading by physical attraction. Cinco was physically attracted to Trina. He said that. First off, he was overall attracted to Cachet. He chose accordingly. He's not assertive, so he was not going to fight Jeremy for Trina. When Trina and Jeremy went bust, he's like, oh my God, now I can get the most beautiful woman in his head. Because I think probably aesthetically, and I've said it before, Trina would probably be thought as the most beautiful woman in the villa to a lot of people. I know people probably don't believe that because she's Black, but I believe her feature-wise, she probably would pull more men than a lot of the other women in the villa.
Well, that's what in the beginning though, like when people were all stepping forward, I'm sure that the show thought that Trina was going to be the Selly, was going to be what everybody came in and wanted, and
then the show went on and they showed her personality, so less and less men are going to be like, and that the fact that she's stuck on Cinco, and so less and less men are going to want to couple up with her. That's just how the show works.
Exactly. So, okay. Alexandra, thanks for joining us with some of your shade here. Will is going to go back to blending in with the furniture now that he's back with Kyra.
Yeah, I mean, the tweet challenge will bring up flow conversations, but otherwise I don't see them doing much for the rest of the time.
Hi, Victoria. Thanks for joining us. So unfortunately, the only thing interesting about Trina is this Cash Cinco triangle. No.
Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah. I mean, literally about Will blending into the furniture. I know, right? Guys, they're funny. Okay, Cinco shouldn't have entertained Trina, then we wouldn't be dragging this triangle that occasionally turns into a square. I mean, he also knows that he wants to stay on the show too, so relevancy is important. So
right,
he knows his game there. Cash's body language is screaming, "We can still be friends, Cinco." It was.
It definitely was. She wasn't close to him. She wasn't. Remember, like even when they were talking before, she used to touch him. I think she's closed herself off. I think she has.
I think it's good though. I had this person that like always would ever anytime they like wanted to meet up with me or see me again, whatever, I'd always say yes. And there was one time I finally said no, and it was really empowering that I wasn't like allured into like toxicity again. You know?
Right.
Olivia needs to go. Watch next week. She'll admit to having feelings for her the lawn chair.
I can't. Oh no.
Grasping at straws to stay in the villa at this point. Yep. Am I the only one that felt absolutely nothing for Kyra and Will's reunion? No, I was just kind of like, I didn't want to watch it. I was like, you're kissing too much. Like,
it was okay. Like, I'm not like, yay, they're together. I'm just like, yeah, okay. I knew he wasn't.
Well, I guess we won't. I don't have to sit through and watch Kyra falling hysterically for a week. So
true.
Okay, good. I'm a sucker for a good love story, but Kyra and Will are not it.
They are not it. They're not it. I think they think that they're going to be it, but they're not it. They're not it.
Okay, so if you really heard that Shannon and Jen had a falling out before the show, in After the Island. Ooh, you can sit through that show. That's another furniture special.
So if you look at their views on their channel, any of their recap shows is like around 4,000. Any of their like interviews is like 10,000 and above. So people are not really watching their recap shows because it just
not fun. They're just so boring. But we want to see their guests. That's what we want.
Yes, exactly. Because they get the first people coming out.
Will just annoyed me this episode. Felt really bad for Flo. I did too. And
I did too.
As boring as Kyra is, I hope she channels the energy of Shannon for that conversation about to happen.
Does it look like she's channeling that energy? She's just like, oh, so you kissed her outside of challenges? Oh, okay. She gonna take him back.
No, she's gonna cry, and then he's gonna comfort her, and then he'll comfort her some more, and then he'll give her some space, and then she'll come back to him, and they'll be done.
Yeah. And their manager's plan is still intact to the end, till they get dumped off at the end of the show. Yeah.
Yes, we did see the first look. It looks good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see Cash happy. Oh, she was so happy.
She was so happy. I mean, y'all could say that it's acting, but she really looked really happy, and he looked like, okay, I'm here for this. Like, he's ready to do this with her. So, like, listen, if they're faking it, they're faking it. If Charlie's faking it, he's faking it. I don't care. Just fake it to the end so that we can get the money.
Yes, and we don't. Oh, hi, C. Jordan. Okay, I don't care who Cinco likes. I want Cash to stay with Charlie.
Right. Yeah. He don't deserve her. I think if we felt like he deserved her, it'd be different. He don't deserve her. I love geometry.
Guys are so. Allie's like, I love geometry in high school, but can we get away from all these dang triangles?
I agree. I don't want to multiply the area of the triangle anymore. Like, I'm done with this.
Yes, C. Jordan, stay with Charlie. We're gonna get shirts. Is it Sister Wives? No, I don't necessarily want Cinco to go home.
I don't want it. I want him to watch Cash be loved up on for weeks and know he lost the money because he's stupid. If he had coupled back up with her like a few things before, like, none of this would have happened. So it's his fault, and I want him to know that. I want him to watch that.
Even if he just had the conversation, said that I want to choose you, Cash, and then they went to Casa Amor, and then she came back and went. He'd have to go with Trina at that point, but like she'd come back single, and then he'd break it off with Trina. That would have been. I would have been shipping it a little bit. I'd been like, okay, decision, and this is just the flow of the show,
and not messed around in Casa Amor. He would have had to be. He would have had to be a perfect gentleman in Casa Amor. If he did that, I think a lot of people would have rode for them. I really do.
Hi, Divine Me. So I could be wrong, but I would be willing to bet that the producers have something to do with this triangle thing. I feel sorry for my baby boy, Cinco. Really glad for Cash, but I hope. I love. You hope for Cinco and Cash, or you hope for Cash and Charlie? You feel sorry for Cinco? Why?
I don't know why you would feel sorry for Cinco. I don't feel sorry for Cinco at all.
C. Jordan, what do you mean? Why? What do you love about? Please enlighten us, C. Jordan. Why do you love Kyra and Will? Please help us understand. I think they're both very gorgeous to look at. I find Will to be decently sexy, considering I usually don't like people as pretty as him, but he's still pretty sexy. He looks like somebody that has life experience. I like that he meditates. I like that he's vegan. I like all that stuff about him. But their relationship is just team furniture. We talked about it already. Just kind of boring.
Let's get that trending. That'll be their name, Team Furniture.
Okay, there won't be a problem between Trina and Cash without Cinco. They even seem to get along well in Casa Amor Villa.
Yeah, no, they've been getting along for weeks. Even when Cash told her, I'm still in love with him. I'm going to tell him I'm still in love with him. And I'm just letting you know. She's, again, since she stole Cinco, they have been friends the entire time. The people that have the problem are the Twitter stands, which I never had a problem with Trina, other than the fact that she made it out to seem like Cash was second class, and that somehow Cash should have just took her, taking her man without her telling her, as if it was not disrespectful. Other than that, Trina did what she was supposed to do, go after the next guy that she wanted. It worked, fine. Keep him. Don't come crying on me though.
It's like, what? It's like, you'll know where I'm coming from. Like, you know him. Like, so, like, you guys have your own relationship. You could deal with him. Don't ask for my advice. It's rude. Maybe now Trina will wake up and she'll demand Cinco about what does he want. Yeah, I think that's coming.
Yeah.
He's going to make a decision, and it's not going to be Trina, I don't think. And Cash is not going to take him back. You know, y'all need to leave Olivia alone.
Okay, see, Jordan, I'm worried about you.
Unpopular opinion, if Cinco fights hard for Cash, she'll accept him back.
That's the only way it will work. That's the only way it will work. He has to do a 360, a 180, a totally different person in order for Cash to take him back. And that's the only way I'll be okay with it. If he does that and then, stays like a, church boy until the end, I'm okay with it because I'll believe him. But if he can't do that, if he's still entertaining girls, he's dead to me. Done.
Okay, Nicole says Charlie is a Cancer. We are reserved until we're not. And Cancer and Capricorn, which is what Cash is, they're opposite, but they're a very good match. One's water, which is Cancer, and earth, which is Capricorn. They go really, really well together. And so with opposites, it's like she has in him what he wants, and he has in her and him what she wants. And so they can see parts of themselves in each other, and that's what it's making them probably quite balanced.
Right.
And so this is probably also why he's willing to invest this time into her, because like he sees a lot of himself reflected in her in his opposite, if that makes sense. So,
and even Shannon said Charlie can dance. He's everything she asked for. Everything she asked for.
Cinco's just hot, and like she's somebody that got away at this point too, and that she had a fiery connection to, but I don't think she's going to be able to get the depth of the connection. Especially Cancers are the most loving, they're family oriented, they want that emotional bond with people. Like that's kind of what drives them. That's what they want, to build that family unit. And Sagittarius, they're not like that at all. They actually want to be free. They don't necessarily want to be, in a relationship like set in. Like they usually want freedom. And so it ain't gonna work. Okay, question. Do we think that Leslie would try to pursue Cinco? Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do. Definitely. Tomorrow.
Absolutely. I can see her going after Cinco or Will. I don't think you're going to touch Will.
No, I don't. I think Will is done for the season. If he didn't go with Flo, nobody's coming in looking for Will, because at this point, he's not going to entertain him. He has to show Kyra he's Mr. Loyal to the end at this point. we're done with Will. Will is done. Will is done. He's with Kyra till they get kicked off or they win. Or they get to the end. That's it.
Second. Yeah, they'll get second.
Yeah. And so now we're gonna get dates. We're gonna get Will and Kyra on a date, and Cash and Charlie on a date, and all these real couples that didn't get a date because the only people who got a date was Jeremy and Trina. Shannon and Josh on a date. Hideaways. Like, that's what we'll be getting through the end of the season. We're not getting, there'll be one or two more guys and girls coming in. We're not getting anything else. No.
C. Jordan thinks that they're a cool couple.
Okay. I'm willing to reserve my opinion for yours, but I ain't doing it.
Okay, so if Cinco somehow got cash back, I don't know if they could win the money.
I think it would be if he showed that he really wanted her, and I think if we get that lovey-dovey relationship that they had in the beginning, and he only had eyes for her for the rest of the season.
What do you think? So Freddie's saying, like, all I know is Cash better only wear Charlie's do-rag.
I want to see all of that. I want to see all of that.
In bed next to Cinco, and he's just looking over at the do-rag that she left for him that's still hanging in his closet.
I want to see it. I want to see it all.
Oh, I want Cash and Charlie to PDA up and down that villa right in front of Melvin.
I'm with you.
I'm voting Cash and Charlie for a date and the hideaway. Absolutely. Oh, man. Yup. They're getting the votes.
Yes. Dead this Cinco situation. Head to the hideaway. I'm ready.
I heard someone that Charlie's zodiac sign is a Leo. Does anyone know his birthday?
His sign is not Leo. They said it's Cancer.
I don't think we heard the actual day. If he's a Leo, that's not great.
Yeah. Then we're back to what's that? Korey and her.
Korey, yeah. Korey's a Leo. Giovanni was a Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell like who she vibes the best with in the house.
No.
She vibes with Shannon, who I think was a Pisces or Cancer, one of the two, and Olivia is Capricorn, Pisces, or Capricorn, whatever. Those signs of her best friends. It's interesting that they also mesh with Cash's. I find that always so fascinating.
No, this is still saying he's a Cancer.
I'll go on his Instagram and see if I can find a birthday or like a happy birthday post. So I can deduce when his actual birthday is. So we'll get back to you tomorrow.
Yeah. Or we'd have to ask his mom on Facebook because that's the
ask his mommy.
Yes.
So Cash does need to be to PDA to the villa. We saw in Casa Amor, absolutely, like sitting on his lap and stuff. Absolutely. I didn't realize Charlie's is so tall. He seems taller than Cinco. I'm so happy for Cash that two good-looking men want to be with her. Absolutely, she deserves it. You all won't even see Will because, like I said, they're going to be blending into the furniture. Absolutely, they're going to be like by the waterfall, just like making out.
He says birthday coming up in a few weeks, and this is June 16th.
So that'd be a few months. Like 1 full month would be still Cancer.
Yeah.
5 weeks would be Cancer still. So. Did he have a birthday? Oh, no, he wasn't in the Casa Amor yet. So he might have had a birthday in Sequester.
Yeah.
But what if Cinco hurts Cash after fighting for her?
June 30th. Happy 28th birthday to me.
June 30th? Oh, that's 100% Cancer.
He's a Cancer.
I can see Cinco crying in the field position when Charlie ties his two-rack on Cash. I don't believe.
Go cry in the shower, Cinco. I can't wait to see it.
I don't think Charlie will hurt Cash at all. I think that he knows he likes her, whether it's a game or not. I don't care. Right. He knows that it's for his best interest to stay with her till the end.
Yep.
And just fight for that woman.
That's what I said. His is in his best interest and his job to entertain Cash that she thinks about nobody else but him until the end, even if it's for the $100,000, and he has to make it believable. I don't see him not doing that.
Me neither. I don't see his head getting turned. There's no point.
No.
On this much baggage with Melvin, Charlie has been everything she's asked for. Absolutely.
Yep.
And it's going to be now her decision as to whether or not she's going to allow herself to fall for Charlie.
We need to see him making her breakfast. We saw him give her tea or coffee yesterday. He's going to, if he keeps doing it, and he's a Cancer. They're sweet when they're trying to woo a woman. He'll be fine. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying they're going to work after the villain. Who knows? I'm saying through the end, I don't see it not being him and Cash at all, unless it's on Cash's side.
Exactly. Me too. I agree. So do we think that Josh will admit to Shannon for having to kiss Genevieve in the challenge? I think they'll do it as a joke, maybe in front of everybody, like, oh my God, we had to kiss. I'm so sorry. It was in the challenge.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the shocking part to them. I think Josh will tell her everything that happened. She'll tell all the girls everything that happened.
If Josh doesn't say anything to Shannon, Shannon will be livid after telling Kyra to talk to her man. I think that it'll come out. I don't think it'll be.
It was during the game though, so like
game, and they'll just laugh about it.
Yeah.
I think that Cash and Charlie are the greatest, coolest couple. Okay, you don't have to say that if you don't believe it's from Jordan. It's okay if you like team furniture.
Yeah, it's fine if you like furniture. There's a lot of people who do.
I miss CRM. Charlie all the way with Cash. We're with you. And Darlene, thanks for joining us as well. Hope Cash doesn't go back to Cinco. That would portray some level of lack of self-worth, which would not sit well with the audience. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She needs to choose herself, and by choosing herself means that she'll choose Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah. I mean, I'm not that big of a fan of Charlie. Like, I don't think that he's that good looking, but I like what he's giving to Cash. I like that, you know.
Yeah. And they have the sexual attraction. I think he will keep her interested enough, because she said she liked that laid back. He's enough of Cinco to keep her, in my opinion.
I agree. I think that they work very well together. So he wouldn't be first choice for me. I'm more into Cinco personally, but for her, I do think that they match a little bit better. Yeah. So that's pretty much it, everybody. Obviously, we love talking about this show with you guys, because we'll end up talking minimum an hour and a half. Hilarious. Just so you know, though, tomorrow we won't be able to go live at 3 p.m.
No, we're going live 3.
Never mind. We'll tell you this tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll tell you at 3.
Never mind. We'll tell you at 3 p.m. tomorrow what we have in store. We won't be going live on Saturday. We'll be going live twice tomorrow, so 3 p.m. and then live after the episode drops Eastern Standard Time, so around 10:15 or 9:50. Does it come on at 8 or 9?
It comes on at 9.
So 10:15.
So about 10:15, yeah.
Okay, so sorry about that. I'm silly. So what are you working on, Tamika, that we want to be watching out for?
Not this much this week, but as always, follow me on Entertainment in Color for all your entertainment news as it pertains to projects of people of color in the entertainment world.
We love you too, CJ. Honestly, it really is fun. It's really picked up, and like the conversations back and forth are hilarious. So I really enjoyed this time spending with Tamika and you guys in the chat, all of you guys in the chat. And if you guys are joining us just after we are live, please leave us a comment. Do you think that Kyra and Will are front runners or team furniture? Do you think that Olivia is going to find somebody else, or is she going to self-evict? Like, what is the rest of Olivia's journey going to be like? And I guess lastly, do we think that there's a chance that Cash is going to go back to Cinco? Is that even a possibility? Or is she going to ride it to the end with Charlie? So leave what your thoughts are in the comments, and we will take a look at them hopefully by tomorrow. And as usual, please subscribe. We are just trying to build a community of people that love talking about this show as much as we do. And let us know also in the chat or in the comments below, do you think we should cover F-Boy Island? What day do you think would be best to cover it? Just give us your thoughts and opinions on that show, and I'll see if I can find someone, Tamika, that might want to cover it with me, or if we'll figure something out. So let us know your thoughts about that. Please subscribe, go to Entertainment in Color and follow Tamika over there, and join us again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern for our next review, the aftermath of Casa Amor Recoupling.